Good evening, everybody. I just want to welcome folks to our March board voting meeting. And at this time, we'll rise for the pledge of the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So I just want to make an announcement that we did have an executive session prior to the start of this board meeting, and it was for personnel matters. And our first item on the agenda of this meeting, public comments. It's an opportunity for folks in the audience, whether you're a community member, employee, student, to come forward and to ask questions, make comments to the board. Okay, seeing none, we're going to move into our next item, which is recognitions. Okay. So we're going to move into Watton Creek with Mr. Freeze. Go ahead. Shift the agenda just a little bit. We're going to start with the Watton Creek and our principal, Mr. Freeze.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having me.
That's good.
Good evening, everybody. Very quickly, just thank you for the opportunity to come here and speak on behalf of Watton Creek. It is my honor to serve as the principal at Watton Creek Elementary School. I think it was in September. I was here last. We went through the data dashboard. So today, you have the data, you have hard and fast, and black and white. But that's not what we deal with every day. We work with some wonderful kids and a great faculty and staff. We're going to start today with, actually, before we get to the kiddos, we're going to start with Mrs. Lamb. If there's anything that sticks out about the Watton Creek and the Exeter Township School District family, is how generous the community is. Mrs. Lamb recently ran her annual One Book, One School event, which is something that, again, she does do on an annual basis. But she added a little bit to it today, and I have her here today to report out exactly what she did. So let's give Mrs. Lamb, as she makes her way up here, let's give her a round of applause. Just to give you some background, she has been with the school district for 26 years, 27 years total as a professional. She has served as the librarian at the elementary level for 22 years. She's a graduate of Kutztown University and serves as both our librarian and research class teachers. So once again, I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Lynn.
Thank you. Hello. Mr. Freeze asked me to talk a little bit about our One Book, One School program, and I started it 8 years ago when I found a grant through Family Dollar. Giving out literacy grants, and I've always wanted to do this program where our families and teachers read one book in about a week. So depending on the book length, it's usually 7 to 9 school days. So it's a novel program in that children of all grade levels will be listening to their parents and classroom teachers read the same book. I always select a book that can be followed and understood and enjoyed by younger students, but still captivate and stimulate our older children. The Watton Creek families have enjoyed this reading event during Read Across America Week each year. Some of the titles that I have chosen in the past include The Boxcar Children, Encyclopedia Brown, Boy Detective, and this year we read Nasty Stinky Sneakers, which brings us to how we incorporated that. So a few years ago I decided that we would have a book reveal where the children would find out, they would not find out ahead of time. I used to tell them. And so then we made it a surprise. So we've done that as flash mobs where I had the teachers dance, and we had skits and they revealed the title. And this year, with snow days and things, sometimes it doesn't always work out into February and March. So this year with our theme of the book, Nasty Stinky Sneakers, the boy in our story wants a really expensive pair of sneakers, but of course his parents can't afford them. So he enters a smelly sneaker contest, hoping to win a pair of sneakers for himself, his sister, and his friends. So that got me thinking about how everyone deserves a great pair of shoes. So I found an organization called Soles for Souls, and they distribute gently worn or new shoes to families here in the United States and also overseas. So I asked the kids to see if we could donate 100 pair of shoes, but we donate 516 pairs of shoes within a week. So that was just it was just wonderful. So during the reveal, our 3rd and 4th grade, we did a STEM activity where we had to make leaning towers of pizza towers out of their shoes. They did this without speaking. They had to use team building skills and see which tower would stand. In my kindergarten through 2nd grade, I taught them a new rhythm game that had to do with shoes. So then we revealed our story. So it was quite fun this year, and adding that extra little piece of donating, that was a lot of fun. So my goal with the One Book, One School is to encourage our parents to continue reading aloud to their children, even when that child can read on their own. The studies have shown that reading aloud to other children builds vocabulary, improves comprehension, improves listening skills, and it's a wonderful bonding experience. A tradition we have in Walnut Creek is that I ask parents to send me a picture of their family reading, and I display those pictures in the library windows for everyone to enjoy. And I also make a picture montage that you're seeing there that we send out to the parents so they can see it electronically. So all the funds needed for this project are either raised by grants that I try to find, or are funds from the Scholastic Book Fair that we raise each year. So lastly, I just want to say that I really appreciate the support of the staff at Walnut Creek. A few years ago, I thought maybe we would go, take a break from this, but they were revolting. So, they really support me. Whatever book I choose, they really want to be part of it, to reveal it to the students, and we have a great time that week. So that's our program. So thank you.
Now, again, I just want to reiterate very quickly, she set the goal for 100, and what they collected was more than 500 pairs of gently used, brand new or gently used shoes, which she boxed up all by herself. She left that part out. She boxed that up with a little help from the faculty and staff and sent it out. So, again, so impressive, so indicative of the Walnut Creek family. The next and last folks that we would like to recognize from Walnut Creek are a wonderful teacher, Mrs. Kathy Walker, who is our gifted education teacher, and 4 awesome students of ours as well that recently participated in a countywide competition. That's what this is right here in front of you. They're going to come up. Come on over here, Dr. Phillips. We'll call them up one at a time, and then we'll have Mrs. Walker come up as well. So our first student that we're calling in no order here that participated in this competition is Sterling Elborn. Sterling, come on up. All right, next up, Steele Gatto. Steele, come on up. We didn't think she was going to make it. She got here. Sasha Kononov, come on up. And last but certainly not least, Paige Lederman.
Do a real quick picture. You want to get in?
Absolutely, that would be great. Parents, if you want to take pictures as well, you're certainly welcome to. You came here for a reason.
This is the time to take a picture. Keep smiling. Keep smiling. All right, now can you go on that side and explain to the board what you guys did?
How about
Show them your fast.
before you jump in, we're gonna turn it over to Mrs. Walker.
Oh, okay.
Very briefly, Mrs. Walker has been a teacher for 15 years. She's taught 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. She's been here with us as our gifted education teacher. She's a graduate of Duke, and we've got the Final Four coming up, or I should say March Madness. I'm sure she's ready to get home to watch. She's also has her master's degree from Drexel University. Let's give Mrs. Walker a round.
Thank you very much. I want to allow the children to do most of this speaking here, but I'm just going to give you a little introduction. The VCIU sponsors this event, and they've done it for a number of years, and they organize it and sponsor it, and they actually have Thermo Fisher as a business sponsor, and they provide many of the judges. They also recruit some local engineers and some retired teachers as judges. And the teams are 4 students, and we went on the day where it was 4th and 5th grade students that could compete. Their prompt was to create a crane, in quotation marks, a machine that would lift objects and move them at least 3 inches and set them back down. But they were encouraged to be creative, and this team certainly went for the creative part of the crane here. And they earned 3rd place out of, we think, 46 teams in the county at this event. So I'm going to let them tell their parts.
We're the Engineering Eagles. I'm Sterling. My name is Sasha. I'm Paige. I'm Steele. We were at a competition for UCIU, and we got 3rd place out of 46 teams. Our prompt was to build a crane that was at least 6 inches and lifts up a ball and puts it back down.
We made this simple lever that takes the ball off the ground and puts it onto a spiral lift.
The spiral lift, we made it from a corkscrew so that it would lift the ball off the ground, as we will demonstrate in a few minutes. Our escalator was based off a conveyor belt, but we changed it over time that it would set the balls down. We also added a double chain to make our holder stronger and a windmill that generates electricity for our motors.
Our escalator easily sets down the balls, but we wanted to add one more declaration. And so this car can be powered by solar power if it were real. And there's a carrier which keeps the objects and makes sure they don't fall off. And there's an aerodynamic cover that floats up.
Now you realize that this is made out of plastic and it's been moved in a car, but we think it will work today, so we're going to give it a shot.
There it goes.
That was a great job.
So it makes you wonder what the 1st and 2nd place was, right? These guys did a phenomenal job, and again, Mrs. Walker, and the parents who brought them out today, we appreciate you bringing them here, otherwise.
Thank you.
One question I'd like to ask of our young students, and if you guys just tell us at this young age what you're thinking you might want to do when you get a little older.
Go ahead. Start with Steele. He knows. He's going to invent something, I know that. He's always telling me what he's about to invent.
Probably a physicist.
We need physicists.
A pediatric dentist.
Yeah, that's too.
I want to get there just like my mom.
The board could use a therapist.
A mechanical engineer or a chemical engineer.
Thank you, good luck. You guys are great. That's all.
You want to start recruiting already? Our next presenter.
Thank you for watching. We're going to move on in our agenda to Governor's STEM team, which is Mr.
Well, thank you guys for having us out tonight. Each year, I'm charged with the honor and the challenge of trying to select from the best and brightest that Exeter has to offer in our STEM program to participate in the VA Governor STEM team. Each year, what they're asked to do as part of the challenge is to try to select the problem that affects Pennsylvanians and the world at large, and try to create a solution through the engineering design process to solve that problem. So this year's team decided to focus on distracted driving and other issues regarding transportation. And so I'm going to let them do the speaking and let you know about the hard work that they did. But I just want to say that we took second place in the competition this year. We've been participating in this competition for 5 years. 4 out of those 5 years we placed in the top 3. We are still chasing the elusive first place, but I'm confident that as we continue to work and to build our STEM program and continue to get kids like we saw tonight, we're gonna get that first place. We're gonna keep moving forward. So as I said, I want to present to you the 2019 Pennsylvania Governor STEM team, and I'll let them tell you about their project.
You guys tell us who you are first, and then we'll.
All right, I'm Daniel.
Hold on.
There you go.
I'm Daniel Kopecki. I'm Kevin Kramer.
I'm Luke Gravel.
Aaron Mashuga. Maya Sims.
So we're all seniors at Exeter, and Potter selects a group of 5 seniors every year to compete in the competition. And he already introduced it, that we basically solve the problem that Pennsylvanians deal with on a regular basis. So we try to tackle distracted driving as it was a major issue among teenage drivers and adults as well.
So the area in distracted driving that we mainly focused on was falling asleep, looking at your phone, and getting angry while driving. Which is the big thing today is looking at your phone. So that was our main topic.
Okay, so what our device does is there's a camera with a microcontroller, and what it does is it takes impulses and eye signatures from the camera, and it can detect if you're looking down at your phone, or if you're getting tired, or if you're getting angry, and it portrays images and text onto a screen that can tell you in turn if you are getting tired or if you're getting angry, and they get off your phone and be distracted.
In addition to the camera on the dash, we also have the sensors on the steering wheel, and those are what monitor sweat production and heart rate, and that's where we get the sleepiness and the mood from. And then the eye camera, we originally wanted to have an eye tracking camera, but it wasn't quite in the budget, so we used like glasses with a little indicator disc on the side, and the camera we have detects the color on that disc, so when you look down at your phone, it would tell you to focus on the road, but when you look left or right, it doesn't detect anything, so if you're looking out the window, it's not just going off constantly.
In addition to building this device, we also had to do a lot of research. We had to give a 20-minute presentation to the judges that they also judged us on, where we talked about how we came up with the idea, what we would like to improve upon, and like the statistics behind why this would solve like a problem in Pennsylvania. We also had to do a problem in a box thing on site where they gave us a small problem and they said build something out of this, and our teamwork was judged by somebody to see how well we work together as a team on site.
Alright, so I guess we can start showing you how it works now. When the device first turns on, which we just have as plugging in right now, it will start taking a calibration, and it does this by getting your average heartbeat value, your skin production value, and your average head location. And this whole process takes about 20 seconds. One problem we did want to run into is our Pixie camera is very limited in a specific scope that it wants to do. So it can do a broad range of things, but not very well. So what it does that it resets is how far away it can detect the glasses. Right now it is freaking out because I pulled the glasses away, so it's not detecting them. But if I put them back now, after I reset it.
Just out of curiosity, what was your budget?
The task only gave us a $500 budget, and if we came in first place, we paid an extra $250 to complete that stakes. So we spent, I think, around $200 total on everything.
So once this runs, I had to restart it because I actually hold the camera in front so it calibrates properly. And as this runs, after the 20 seconds of calibration, it will save your average values, and then once it detects that either you're looking away at your phone or your heartbeat sensor, or your heartbeat and GSR values are too high, like you're getting sweaty or angry, it will go off and notify you that there's a problem. In our entire system, we have an LCD camera, a Pixie 2 camera, a speaker, and we also printed 3D cases for our entire system to protect it as it runs.
So when he says GSR sensor, that's a galvanic skin response sensor. It measures the conductivity of your skin through sweat. So if you're more stressed, you're more likely to sweat. So we thought that'd be a good sensor to use. So that's what he means by GSR, galvanic, whatever he says. And the heart rate is also for when you're angry, because if you're angry, the heart rate goes up. The blood starts pumping.
So in addition to just building it, we also had outside aspirations that we wanted to accomplish. We didn't get to it, but we would have if we had placed first place and moved on to the state competition. We would have created an app that would have created a driver profile that anybody using the app, such as family members or law enforcement or insurance companies, could use, and they could track your driving to see if you are distracted, and they would offer you benefits and things like that to keep you as a focused driver on the road. Your family members could use that app, and they could track and see when you're distracted, how often you're distracted, and take proper forthcoming precautions on how to stop your distracted driving.
You guys pick me up. Does that any question?
Where are you guys going from here?
To carry on to the state level, we would have had to get first place. So,
No.
I think he means you personally.
oh,
Yeah.
I'm personally going to Penn State University to study biomedical engineering.
Main campus.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You want to go over there and then you can bring it back this way.
I'm going to Rochester Institute of Technology to study software engineering.
Congratulations.
I am attending Liberty University to study mechanical engineering.
That's right on, man.
I haven't committed anywhere yet, but I'm looking at Point Park and Rochester Institute of Technology towards photojournalism or visual engineering.
I also haven't committed anywhere yet, but I'm going to a four-year university for architecture.
Very cool.
It's okay.
Thank you again for having us.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you, students.
You guys, I think we got a picture. You guys want to get behind me? Mr. Potter, get in there.
Get in there, Potter. Get myself out of the picture. Yeah, once you turn it around. Turn it around. Famous. He's nice in the paper with the glasses.
They might recognize you.
Get hit in the back. It's not it.
Yeah, I think so.
We're going to move on to our agenda. Move into our voting portion of our agenda. We're going to be utilizing our consent agenda format this evening. Section of agenda minutes, including recommending the board approve minutes from the February board meeting, special voting meeting, workshop meeting, and the voting meeting of 19. Second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Treasurer's report. Recommended that the board, for the records, approve the treasurer's report for February 2019 and payment request for 2020 February 20th through March 19th. Second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, board policies. We've got several board policies. It's recommended the Board of School Directors approve the following policies, A through P, as listed on the agenda. Second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Business functions, Mr. Dell.
Thank you, Dr. Hamburger. It's recommended the board approve items A through F in the business functions agenda.
Second, okay. Discussion.
Just as a clarification point for item F, the 39 additional stop cameras, that would be for all additional buses, not what we had previously talked
That would
about.
be an increase.
Yeah. We did previously talk about this, but the previous proposal at that time was to,
Phasing it.
yeah.
This will get all our buses. This will get all our buses taken care of one shot.
Okay. Any additional discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Personnel Committee, Mr. Giuffino.
It is recommended that the Board of School Directors approves or ratifies the following personnel items, A through F.
Second.
Any discussion?
I'm sorry, A through G.
Second again.
Any discussion? Sure. Any discussion? There are a couple of retirements. Would you like?
Sure, I just want to make some quick comments on two of the retirements. One being Dr. Schlaffer, principal at Jacksonville Elementary, retiring. I believe he's been 19 years in the district. He'll be going out. He's on to doing some things that I think he wanted to do in retirement, but I think he's going to leave with a heavy heart. He really enjoyed being in the building, being with the students. If you've never been to and I know Dr. McClendon, you were with me when we saw the giving away of the hams. And it's truly a sight to be there when Dr. Schlaffer did that. The other person I want to recognize is Mr. Artie. He's been with the district, I believe, almost as long as the assistant principal at the junior high. And as if you were here last week, or the last time the junior high presented to the board, it was basically an homage to Mr. Artie and his Oveus project. I know he also leaves with a heavy heart, but I will say that I believe Mr. Artie will live on in the building with the Oveus program, and I know he's not going to leave. He's going to be around to make sure that program continues as strong as he did it. Thank you.
Can I just quick echo Dr. Phillips' comment specifically about Mr. Artie, who was my assistant principal. I did receive attention several times from Mr. Artie. I think I know from my time there and the time of my friends that we all held him in high esteem, and that hasn't changed being here and being able to see him from a different perspective. And we're really lucky to have had him. And we're fortunate that he lives in the township too, so we'll have him for a little bit longer as well.
Yeah, I would agree. These are both very energetic, very influential administrators, and I know both of them are going to stay very engaged in retirement. I know they both have plans, so I'm really anxious to follow how things continue for the two. Any additional discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Student functions, Mrs. Stratton.
As listed, we're reporting on field trips that occur within a 60-mile radius, and it is recommended that the Board of School Directors approves items A through G on the agenda for student functions.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. So we're going to move into committee reports. Athletic Committee, Mr. Harris.
I communicated with Tom a little bit prior to this meeting. There aren't many results so far for the teams, but he did want me to let the board know that they're having a good start to their season. They expect to be competitive for several playoffs in different sports, and he expects that it'll be as good a year or as good a season as it was last year.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Curriculum Programs, Curriculum Committee, Dr. McClendon.
It is recommended that the Board of School Directors approves the purchase of the following textbooks: Accounting, Century 21, 5 textbooks and 25 licenses for a cost of $11,136.25 plus shipping.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion carries. Facilities Committee, anybody from the Facilities Committee?
Me, but
I'm sorry.
I've not been briefed on anything that Jim had wanted me to say, so.
Okay.
We'll say no report.
No report? Okay. Thanks, sir. Personnel Committee, Mr. Japin.
Nothing I can talk about.
Thank you, Mr. Japin. Policy Committee, all I can say is we've crossed the threshold of into the 600s, and we will just venture on until we're done this complete overhaul of our policy manual. So we're making good progress, and I want to thank board members for their cooperation. Student Functions Committee, Mrs. Stratt.
I just wanted to mention that we had the student forum at the high school, and the staff and students were absolutely amazing in the discussions, very mature in their ideas, and I enjoyed those moments.
Thank you. I'd say too, I mean, I attended that, Hunter was there, and anybody else? And it was really enlightening, very enlightening to actually hear directly from the students. Kids are so much more mature than, when they're in that kind of a forum, and they took it very seriously. I think it was extremely well organized by Mr. Campbell. I think he did a great job of getting kids to really focus on some key topics. And I'm sure that that's how things actually change best, is when students are engaged in the process and they talk about a lot of things that I think were really relevant to the operation of the school, and some really good ideas came up, and I'm sure they'll use that information to help formulate their plans going forward. Mrs. Page is not here for the Tech Committee. Is there anyone else who wants to report from the Tech Committee?
She had asked about Joe Wade, but I don't see Joe Wade.
He's not here.
Yeah.
Okay. So no report there. So Exeter Community Education Foundation, Mrs. Wilson.
Not so much. I just wanted to mention that there will be a beef and drinks fundraiser on Sunday, April 7th at Klinger's in Chesonia, and we'll be honoring Mr. John Kramer for his many years of dedication to the school district. And also, if you haven't purchased a brick yet, I think they're tweaking the brick uniforms until the end of the month.
Thank you. BCTC Joint Operating Committee, I know Dr. McClendon, you couldn't go, and I actually participated in your place. I know why you have a smile on your face when you come back.
And you ate my dinner, too.
I had your dinner. And they do a phenomenal job. I mean, the food services program at BCTC, they put together just an unbelievable meal for the committee members. And then usually follow up with a tour, some aspect of the facility. This time it was the business management and entrepreneurship area. And we had a chance to kind of see a project that they were working on. There were two senior students who talked about a virtual business that they had put together. It was actually a vacation business called 99 Adventures. And it looked just like, it was on a website, and it looked just like an actual functioning vacation business done on the website, with hotels that you could rent, packages that you could do, tours that you could sign up for. But it was done as part of a project. It wasn't really online. It wasn't anything that you could actually use. But when you looked at it, it looked like the real thing, and it just showed the kind of quality work that they can do at BCTC. Another exciting part of that evening was that we saw an award go to one of our students who attends there, a second-year student named Caitlin Bleacher. And Caitlin's in the Advertising, Art, and Design Technology program. She developed a logo as part of a competition for the statewide STEM competition, for the statewide STEM conference. And hers was selected to be the design that would be used on all the STEM conference materials at the state level. So it was quite an honor and a really interesting design. It incorporated a lot of the aspects of what STEM actually stands for into the design itself. It was really well done, and she was there. And I think everyone was so impressed. And of course, we got kudos because she was the student from Exeter. So that was another great thing. One other thing about BCTC, they are having their golden anniversary celebration coming up. It's on April 27th. I'm going to pass this around for folks. It features a car raffle, and there are two cars, a 77 Chevette Corvette Coupe and a 37 Chevrolet Street Rod, that are both going to be part of a drawing. And also, it's a general event from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the 27th at BCTC. So we'll pass this around. This will be at the Ole campus. Pass this around so you guys can, so pass one each way. And this is the celebration. So that's all for my report from BCTC. BCIU Intermediate Board, there is a board meeting tomorrow evening. Legislative Liaison, Mr. Miller.
No reports.
Township Borough Liaison, Mr. Japien.
Yes, Mr. Biancone and I from Exeter Township are looking to set a time to get together. Our schedules haven't jived yet. And I'll ask Mr. Ahrens to assist me in connecting with Mr. May from St. Lawrence, since I have been unable to connect with him through email.
I got you.
That,
Thanks, Mr. Japien. Superintendent's report, Dr. Phillips.
Thank you, Dr. Hamburger. First, I'd like to extend congratulations to Christy Haller. She successfully defended her dissertation today, and she will now be known as Dr. Haller. So congratulations to her. I attended the Professional Advisory Committee at the BCTC campus, West Campus this morning. Some of the discussions centered around what Dr. Hamburger has already stated. They're updating their senior survey and extending the use of social media to find out where the students are going once they graduate and if they're in the field that they were participating in while they were students. They talked about a summer internship program that's between junior and senior year. They will take 70 students that will work 8 weeks in a paid internship. On August 12th, they have a celebration at the intermediate unit where each student will be presented a check of $1,200 for their payment for their internship. The announcement that graduation will be at the Kutztown University Field House on May 28th. It will now combine both BCTCs under one roof rather than have two graduations. To accommodate the amount of students and family, the awards night now will be at each building. Dr. Kraft is doing that to involve the underclassmen, so they'll be present to see the awards going out. I think it was a good idea. They will also be live streaming the event. Budget update has been presented to the districts. Two areas that were discussed: medical professional technology program. The cost for tuition will remain the same. We will be reviewing options in the future for costs, as well as the RAC, Reading Area Community College dual enrollment credits, are going to be covered by the BCTC budget again. This year, the grant is no longer available to pay the cost of tuition. Dr. Kraft mentioned that the Heavy Equipment Operators Program is slated to begin the year 2020-2021. He has secured the use of a closed quarry for the students. They already own the heavy equipment. They're working on other details, and they will be, in the next few weeks, surveying all 8th, 9th, and 10th students in the county for their interest. On one note that he wanted to brag about, and he very much should, 75% of the students in the BCTC achieved advanced on the NOCTI exams. There's only two CTCs in the state that have achieved this year. Our BCTC has achieved it 2 years running. So they do an excellent job preparing the students on the NOCTI exams. Mr. Keebler informed me that the following students medaled at the Central Eastern Regional Science Olympiad held at Kutztown University. First place, Mission Possible, Nick Chiabatoni and Sid Lucaraju. First place, Water Quality, Nicole Wenzel and Ashton Datko. Second place, Designer Jeans, Ashton G as in G-E-N, okay. Ashton Datko. Come on, that was fun. All right. Ashton Datko and Taylor Stetch. Second place, Dynamic Planet, Chris Good and Ivan Donachi. Third place, Geological Mapping, Ashton Datko and Tyler Stetch. Fifth place, Fossils, Lauren Posey and Taylor Stetch. Fifth place, Mousetrap Vehicle, Chris Good and Nick Chiabatoni. And fifth place, Sounds of Music, Nick Giabatoni, and Evan Donacci. Unfortunately, the team did not qualify for the state tournament. This past fall and winter, the Exeter Township School District nurses coordinated with the mobile dental program. With today's declining healthcare affordability, dental care is falling even further behind. The mobile dentist program brings dental care directly to our schools using a network of licensed dentists, hygienists, and assistants, providing our students with quality dental care. It sets up a mini clinic directly in our schools. This year, 42 students were able to take advantage of the program. Students received services such as complete oral examinations, cleanings, fluoride treatments, sealants, and/or x-rays. Students received oral health education, a free toothbrush, and a dental report card. Students with more comprehensive dental concerns received consultation for further treatment. Our district also utilizes our local dentist, Dr. Reinecker, to maintain dental exams, so we are able to meet the student needs. As a district, we are hoping to increase our student demand to more than just the mandated dental exams required in grades K1, 3, and 7 by expanding the mobile dentist to all of the student population so we can help our neediest students receive and maintain proper dental care. Mrs. Pinkerton has informed us the following students have received exclusive regional awards at the Scholastic Art Competition. Julie Rears won a $50 Juror Award, and Casey Sears won a $100 KU Art Education and Craft Department Award. At the BCIU show, Mina Sims won $100 for the Ruth Ann Hartung Two-Dimensional Award. Ariana Shuka won $75 for the Crafts Award. Grace Sturts won an honorable mention for her mosaic. Cassie Scarce won an honorable mention for color photography. Julie Rears won second, and Lauren Posey won an honorable mention in the color drawing category. And Grace Sturts and Amelia Bennett won awards of merit from the Berks Art Council. Once again, very talented students in our district. That is all for my report.
Thanks, Dr. Phillips. Are there any board members who seek to be heard?
Yes. I was just being a little bit nosy, and I think Pat actually had a tech update here from Joe, and I just wanted to read it quick. There will be the 6th annual STEM fair at the Reichton School on Thursday, April 4th from 6 to 8 p.m. New this year will be a STEM career and college fair. As usual, there will be over 30 stations from healthcare to robotics, and we look forward to seeing you there.
And I mentioned that's also the date and the same facility where we do our kindergarten carnival. So the line will be large. Get there early.
Dave, I'd just like to offer a shout out to all of the students who participated in Sister Act. I had a chance to see it on Saturday night. I'm sure other folks did as well. It was a terrific show. And kudos to all of the students. Hope Davis was fantastic in the lead. And also to Mrs. Karate, Mrs. Selke, Mrs. Galtier, and I'm sure other people that I know, Mrs. Holmes. So they did a terrific job. And I also want to just give hats off to Tom Campbell at the high school and his leadership there. There seems to be a different vibe, and I see Mrs. Hearing, Dr. Hearing here in the audience, and she's the head of the PTA for the high school, and I just think that it seems like there's some cool things happening there. So hats off to you, and congratulations to our folks for all the work that they did. It was really a fun show.
I'd also like to say I attended the Thursday morning seniors presentation of the, for members of our community, because I qualified. And it was really great to see the turnout, from the community, and they had a great experience. It was pretty interesting what happened. They got in, and the show was supposed to start at 9 o'clock, and right at 9 o'clock, the fire alarm went off. And they all had to vacate and go out and stand in the hallway, or stand outside in the driveway. So it was really unfortunate. We just had a glitch, I think, in the kitchen area, but it didn't seem to slow them down, and everybody, I think, had a great experience. But it was memorable.
They were patient, they were flexible, and they really enjoyed it. And how could you not enjoy the show? The kids are just incredible.
Yeah.
You got to remember, that's something that can really throw a performer off.
So, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah. Yeah, you're all ready to go. I mean, they were just about ready to open the curtain. Thank goodness it didn't happen during the show.
Oh, right.
You know, so actually, Tom said that to me. He said, you know what? He said, if I'm looking at it glass half full, you know, it's, you know, it happened before everything got started, and it actually worked out just fine. So I have to agree that was a great show. Any other board comments? Okay, so at this time I have an announcement on the part of, on behalf of the board relative to the employment of our district superintendent, Dr. Robert Phillips. At least 90...
Excuse me, Dr.
I'm sorry.
Is that, I'm not sure what you're about to say, but is that a personnel issue?
This is the outcome of our conversations. Yeah. Let me go through my comments. I don't think you understand what I'm trying to say.
Okay, I just sound.
Or
like
did you have a comment that you wanted to make?
No, it sounded like you were going to talk about things that we talked about in executive meeting that were personnel.
Right. There's an outcome that needs to be made public. An outcome. There's no vote here. It's just an outcome that needs to be made public.
I didn't know if that was.
Yeah, it was necessary. It's necessary. Does anybody have any questions about what I'm about to say? Okay. Let me just move forward with it. And if you have any questions, you have to be ready to answer. So at least 90 days prior to the expiration of the superintendent's contract, and at this time, the board is required to make a determination in accordance with district policy and section 1073 of the school code to notify the superintendent whether the board intends to retain him for a further term of 3 to 5 years, or to seek other candidates for the office of superintendent. In the absence of a board vote at a public board meeting, the term of office which he is currently serving shall be extended for 1 year, upon the conclusion of which the term of office will expire. So after deliberating in executive session, the board has determined that no action or board vote will be taken, and as a result, Dr. Phillips' term of office will be extended for an additional year until June 30th of 2020, at which time it will automatically end. However, this outcome does not prevent the board from taking action prior to the end of the year extension to retain Dr. Phillips for a further term, nor does it prevent him from being considered for an appointment to a further term at the conclusion of the extended term, notwithstanding the consideration of other candidates. Are there any questions? So I also want to just announce that we're going to be holding an executive session for personal matters immediately after this meeting. And I will accept a motion for adjournment. So moved. For adjournment. Thank you.